Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome in. I'm inside, Cal's outside. Looks like Anthony's in the house. Audra, how are you? Welcome. Kim Stahl is in the house. Oh, she said she's going to try to be there. Okay. Hopefully you can make it, Kim. If not, no worries. Hey, Unique Planet, good night to you. Hey, Allison, welcome in. How are you? Happy Thursday. Hope you're staying cool. It's hot. It's hot here. It definitely was in the 90s here today. It's probably a little bit below that now. I want to say it's like 87, 88. Hey, Ari's World, welcome in. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm feeling a little better today. I'm feeling better now. It's hot here today, though. Whew. Hey, Becky G, welcome in. It was humid this morning. As soon as I walked out the door, it hit me. I literally started sweating instantly. It was so gross out this morning. Kind of one of those days. Hey, Clark Smith Adventures, welcome. Happy Thursday. Let me give you a mod, and I'm going to give Becky a mod, too. I've seen Becky here before. Clark Smith. Oh, and Ann too. I thought Ann was already a mod, but maybe not. All right, there we go. All right, Ari. Yeah, we hooked up Becky. Yep, Becky's all set. Yeah, Calvin's totally aware of everything. I had to say I was giving him a treat to come inside just because it's hot out, but he really wants to be outside. Hey, Ravi, welcome in. Hey, Vaga's in the house. Vagabond, aka Turtles Waxing. Walking, I mean, sorry. Welcome in. You don't really need to do much, and it just gives you special privileges. But you don't need to do really anything different than showing up and chatting. Hey, Brooks. Brooks has been here a lot. Alfredo's in the house. How are you? Yes, hit that like button and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Hey, Yeet. Welcome in. We're in a giving mood today. So I thought for today's live stream we would do, of course, we'll take the conversation wherever it goes for the most part, but I figured we would talk a little bit about the Boston Terrier breed specifically. Some common things about them, some traits, some fun facts, and then a little bit of trivia. This is all just going to be fun and informational. But figured that we could talk about that topic. And but basically what I'll do is when I tell you like a specific fun fact or a trait about them, I'll tell you if I feel like Calvin embodies that or is a little bit different than, let's say, the norm. They do muff DVR, but he doesn't really do much of that, and we'll get into that. Yes, like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. So, how is everybody's Thursday going? It's going well here. Like I said, it's hot, but I'm okay with that. I mean, he does here and there, but it's not as bad as like the breed. The breed has a bad rap for that, obviously for good reason, but he doesn't really conform to that. Hey, we got 36 in the chat, 14 thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't, before you forget. Yeah, the channel's been busy lately, Vaga. We've been doing really well lately. The last like 2-3 months has been just really awesome to see. You know, it's a lot of work, And so after 4.5 years, it's nice to finally, see some decent channel growth. Now, again, I took a kind of a break in 2024. Well, when I say a break, I just was not posting consistently. It was very sporadic. And so we're back at it, which is great. My first Boston had gas. Yeah, that's kind of why is there a crown with a number? It's this thing that YouTube's doing, Vag. I don't really have a great explanation, but if you click on it, it will show you like everybody gets like points from YouTube. I think it's the more you interact with the channel, maybe. I really don't exactly know how that works, to be honest with you. But it's cool to have the crown. It means YouTube is recognizing you for your contributions to the channel. So you're kind of like the queen, Vaga. Kind of cool. Well, you're the second queen. Muff DVR is the third crown. And who has number one? I missed it. Oh, Ann. Ann's got number one. Sweet. But outside of that, I really have no idea. Oh, crowns, $2. Ari's World, you're the bomb. Thank you so much. Yes, Audra is in the house for sure. So our friend Barry is doing a live stream right now. I think I saw him just pop on a few minutes before our live. So if you follow Barry, make sure you go over there and check him out too. Spread the love. Give him a thumbs up. Say hello. Tell him I sent you. You're doubling up over there? Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Hey, Kevin, hiking with Jackie boy. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. 41 in the house. 16 thumbs up. Yeah, Barry's a really good guy. I mean, that's like an understatement. Let me tell you, super smart. Just a good-hearted person. Has his priorities right. Very faith-oriented man. But very good supporter of our channel and a lot of channels here. And let me tell you, if you ever want to do trivia, it doesn't really matter what the subject is. He's your guy. I already told him that if we ever do music trivia, I'm just going to get on his team. Whether he wants me on his team or not, I'm just going to jump on his team because he just knows everything about music. It's crazy. Hey, Kim made it. Welcome in. Hey, Sandy. Sandy Lacrosse, welcome into the stream. Nice to have you here. So, all right, well, there's no time like the present, as they say. So anyways, I thought it would be fun to actually type into Chat GPT, give me 50 fun facts about the Boston Terrier. And so sure enough, it gave me 50 fun facts. And so I will give a just little disclaimer here. It is coming from Chat GPT. And although I would love to believe everything on the internet is amazing, it isn't always true. And so when I read these, I will kind of tell you whether I think Calvin embodies these traits. And if not, why he might be a little different. So anyways, these first 8 are all about the breed's origin and history. Hey, TT Star Streams, welcome. TT Tarstem says he's known as the American gentleman because he farts a lot. Barry claims he's not the trivia king. It's okay what he says, but I'm saying it. Hey, Miyoshi, welcome. So anyways, a little bit about the breed. So number 1, it originated in the U.S., and I thought this was interesting. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it says Boston Terriers were the first breed developed in the United States, which I think I heard that before. But again, who knows if it's truly true. They are definitely amazing. Calvin lost his ball into the couch. This is going to be traumatic if I don't get it for him. Uh-oh. All All right, hold up. I gotta get Calvin's ball. Otherwise, he's just gonna. All right, here you go, Cal. All right, Calvin usually doesn't play with the ball. Oops. I love the gimbal. The gimbal just does whatever it feels like doing. Love it. Oh, Audra, you're the bomb. Thank you so much. And actually, I forgot to heart Chris's. There we go. All right, so anyways, Boston Terrier, first breed developed in the United States. Again, whether that's true or not, who knows? Who else is in the house? Yep, kind of a gimbal error, but not 100% a gimbal error. All right, so the breed was named after Boston, Massachusetts, where the breed was first established. That I knew. That's not a surprise to me. They descended from a bulldog and an English terrier mix, originally bred in the late 1800s. Allison knew that one. Yes, hit that thumbs up, everybody. We got 57 in the house. They were originally called Roundheads or Bull Terriers before being renamed. And then they became a recognized breed by the American Kennel Club in 1893. Hey, Javeed Hamid, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, Roundhead is not a very catchy name. I agree. It's a weird name. Yes, please. Double tap that screen. That would be awesome. It's really easy to do. If you're on your mobile, just double tap that screen and give us a like. We would appreciate that. They were the first non-sporting dog breed developed in the United States. That I think I knew as well. You call your Boston a blockhead? That's funny. They were one of the few dog breeds to have a U.S. city as part of its official name. So I'm trying to think what other dogs have a U.S. city in their name. Let's see if we can think of that. Anybody know? I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head. Yes, the octopus is still alive. And our friend Trish gave us more lobsters that are up there, but I'm waiting for him to destroy the octopus before I give him the lobsters. Chesapeake Bay Retriever, but not a city. Okay, well, that's close, though. I can't even think of a name of a city other than Boston Terrier. I mean, I would assume they would be named after bigger cities, right? Yeah, I can't think of any either. So, anyways, we won't spend all day on that one. But if you do think of one, drop it in the comment. That would be fun to figure that out. So the original Boston Terrier, his name was Judge, and he weighed about 30 pounds, which is a little bit heavier than your average Boston Terrier. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I also have some trivia here too, because if I don't ask some trivia questions, then you're probably going to know all the answers just from reading off these fun facts. Yeah, Yorkshire Terrier, that's a good one. Yeah, Yorkies, but you're right, that's in England. Yeah, I'm familiar with it, Ari, in other countries, but I just can't think of any U.S. All right, guys, here's your first trivia question. I expect many of you to get this right. This is a softball. What is the nickname commonly given to Boston Terriers? And fart machine is not an acceptable answer. Anthony Chihuahua's in the house. Welcome in. Carolina dog, even though it's a state. Okay. Allison says the American gentleman. Clark Smith says the gentleman. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Becky says screwtails. Bulldogs. American gentleman from Kim Stahl. Yeet says American gentleman. You are correct. Yes. They are known as the American gentleman. You guys should get this one too, because I already mentioned it in a fun fact. In what U.S. city was the Boston Terrier breed developed? In what U.S. city was the Boston Terrier breed developed? Yeah, that's easy. Turtle says treat machine. Yeah, he just ate his dinner, though. Shocker. He cleaned his bowl. Speaking of dinner, did you guys see the latest short that I posted? I actually went into the Way Back Wednesday machine and found a video of him when I first got him. I mean, he must have been with me no more than a couple days. And I filmed him eating his kibble, and it was just so dang cute. Oh, yeah, he's always ready for them treats. Yep. Hey, we got 75 in the house. Yeah, he was a cute little boy. All right, here's your next trivia question. What two breeds were originally crossed to create the Boston Terrier? Which two breeds were originally crossed to create the Boston Terrier? Hey, we got 82 in the house. Yeah, it's a little potato. I'll see if I can find more Way Back Wednesday videos. Maybe I'll make that a thing. On Wednesdays, I'll try to post an older video of him. But I'm going to bet you I didn't take a ton of video when I first got him. I was probably more pictures than anything. I didn't have a YouTube channel when I first got him, so I would have never really thought to do that. But we'll see what I can muster up. Yeah, I agree, Vaga. It kind of has a little ASMR quality to it. Anthony says, Kim says English Terrier and a Bulldog. Anthony says a Staffordshire and a ... Allison says she knew that one, but she can't remember. Kim Stahl is correct. So the Boston Terrier is a cross between the English Bulldog and the White English Terrier. And fun fact about the White English Terrier, oh, maybe not a fun fact if you're a White English Terrier, but that dog breed's actually extinct. It doesn't exist anymore. Hey, Maverick, how are you? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, next question. When was the Boston Terrier officially recognized by the American Kennel Club? What year was the Boston Terrier officially recognized by the American Kennel Club? Kim says 1896. Any other guesses? Hey, we got 91 in the house, but only 37 thumbs up. Let's even that out. Clark says 19-something, LOL. Allison's not quite sure. Vaga says 18-something. Anthony says, Kim, you got a Boston too. Ann says, hi, Anthony. Maverick says 1893. Allison says 1895. We're almost at 100, yeah. Ravi says 1950. So we have a correct answer. They were established by the AKC in 1893. So that we're talking a long, long time ago. All right, what group does the Boston Terrier belong to in AKC classification? What group does the Boston Terrier belong to in the AKC classification? Ari's Wahoo. Hey, Nawaka, welcome. Thank you for being here. Greetings from Town and Country, Missouri. Cool. So I've seen Mwaka. Mwaka's been visiting our channel lately. Thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate that. So today we're just doing a live stream to talk a little bit about the Boston Terrier breed. And I'm answering some trivia questions just for fun. And figured, you know, we could talk a little bit more about the breed, and then also, you know, a little bit on whether or not this breed would be right for everybody. Now, all of us Boston Terrier lovers are probably like, of course it's right for everybody. But in fairness, I don't think the breed is right for everybody. You know, I think it just depends on people's lifestyle and, you know, their living situation, how much time they can spend with the dog. So I think there's a lot of factors that go into whether or not this is the right breed for people, in my opinion. All right, next question. Oh, he looks like you're London. Boogle, cool. He was not, Anne. He was not named after Calvin and Hobbes. I've told that story before, but I'll tell it again. We'll see how much time we have left at the end of this live stream. If you remember and remind me. Russian Blue says, I work long hours. They do have a lot of energy. You are correct. All right, next question. Oh, you guys didn't answer that last question, I don't think. Oh, yes, I did. Yeet answered it. Yeet answered it correct. Hey, Tommy John, welcome in. It's a little windy, Vaga, but it's like 88 degrees Fahrenheit out. It's super hot and it's muggy. Okay, next question. What is the typical weight range for a Boston Terrier in pounds? Typical weight range for a Boston Terrier in pounds. Anthony says 30. Maverick says 16. So they're looking for a range, but I'll let you know if your guess is within the range. Anthony says question mark. Kim says 15 to 20. Allison says 20 to 24. Tommy says 15. Vaga says 20 to 30. Clark Smith, didn't they win one year? I thought the Boston Terrier won, maybe not recently, but I felt like within the last 10 years they won. Yeet says 22 to 27. Muff DVR says 12 to 15. Maverick says 16 to 20. All right, so it's a little bit bigger range. The range that they say is 12 to 25. Now, I will argue that that's probably the average range, and probably 80% of Bostons fall in that range. Calvin is in that range, but he's on the upper end of that range. He weighs 24 pounds. But I know of people who have Boston Terriers that are 10 pounds. I know a couple who have Boston Terriers that are over 25 pounds. Calvin wanted to go out. We'll go follow him in a sec. Hey, we got 97 in the house. Sweet. A pug and a Frenchie one recently, too. Okay. All right, guys. Next question. What shape best describes a Boston Terrier's head? What shape best describes a Boston Terrier's head? Hey, Arlene, welcome in. Kim says round. Anthony says box. Allison says roundish. Muff DVR says square. Square. Ravi says a cantaloupe. Nawaka says a box. Hey, we got over 100 in the house. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Icon. Welcome in. So the answer says square, but I think it's funny that it's square when they were previously known as the roundheads. So which one is it? Is it a roundhead or is it a square? I think that's confusing. This is a true or false question, so you have a 50-50 chance. Boston Terriers have long, floppy ears by default. Long, floppy ears by default. $120 in the chat, or it was. Anthony says true. Boston Terriers have long, floppy ears by default. Ari's World says trolls. Love it. How about flu? Or flu? All right, that answer is definitely false. So they have usually pointy, erect ears. Although Calvin, why is this is open? I don't know why. Okay, that could have been bad. Calvin could have ran out. But anyways, it is false. They usually have pointy ears. Calvin's ears do flop a little bit, but they're, for the most part, sticking up, though. They're not, like, flopped over, like, on his sides. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Hey, Todd Saw. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, let's go back to some of the traits now. So this next section talks about their appearance and traits. So they're known as the American gentleman, and the reason why they're called that is because of their tuxedo-like black and white coat. Now, as you all know, not all Boston Terriers are black and white. Some of them come in different colors, like Calvin. Calvin is brindle, so he does have some black in him, but he also has brown. So he has like a mix of black and brown, a little bit of seal, and white. And so he's got brindle markings. Hey, Deborah, welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Reba, appreciate it. Thank you, Reba, appreciate that. So yeah, so he's brindle. But they can also come in seal. They can also come in red. Some of them are also kind of like a fawn color. Some of them come like in a grayish color, like a almost like a grayish silver color. But I would say the most traditional colors would be, and the ones that are accepted as part of breed standard, are brindle, like Calvin, which even though it's not as common, that is the preferred color, as what I read. Black and white and seal and white, those are usually the only colors that are recognized as breed standard. So those red Bostons, like the ginger ones, which are super cute, would not be able to enter like the dog shows because they're not considered standard. What did I miss? Todd. What's going on, Todd? Oh, your daughter was... Oh, no. Oh, man, Todd, hopefully she's okay. Obviously, that's more important, dealing with your daughter for sure. Hope everything is okay with her. Looks like everything is good other than the vehicle suffering a little bit. Oops. Calvin's pooping. Calvin, go ahead, poop. All right, that was a little one. He never poops in the yard. That's crazy. Reba's new here, everybody. Give Reba a warm welcome, everybody. Thank you for being in the chat. We appreciate it. Yeah, I have seen those colors too, the bluish, grayish ones. Again, I think all of them are beautiful. I've seen Boston Terriers with like, most of them have brown eyes, but I've seen Bostons with blue eyes. And I've also seen a Boston that had one brown eye and one like different color eye, which I found interesting too. Speaking of eyes, the next fun fact is they have big expressive eyes as one of their signature features, which I would agree with that. I think Calvin's eyes are very bold and beautiful, and definitely are one of his signature features on him for sure. Hey, Arya the rescue dog. Welcome in. Hey, Peter. Oh, that's funny, Deborah. Yeah, Bassets have big ears for sure. Calvin was just showing off. Right, exactly. So here's a term that some of you probably know, and this may be the first time you've heard this word. But Boston Terriers are brachycephalic, meaning they have short, flat faces. So, those smush-nosed breeds that we kind of love, like the Pugs, the Boston Terriers, the Frenchies, they're considered brachycephalic breeds because they have, the smushed noses. And basically, as cute as it is, it's not the best feature to have because it can create breathing issues. They have narrow airways to breathe. So that's why these kinds of breeds will overheat really quickly or, not deal with extreme cold temperature either. So you have to be very careful with a breed who's brachycephalic just because they can develop breathing issues. They are amazing dogs. Welcome in, Hunter. Hey, we got 109 in the chat, 56 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I appreciate that. We already talked about this. Their ears naturally stand up, giving them a perky and alert expression. They have short, sleek, easy-to-groom coat. That is really true. I've never, ever had to take Calvin to a groomer to do anything with his coat. All I do is I give him baths, brush his teeth, and I get his nails clipped, although he's really due for a nail clipping. But outside of that, they are super low maintenance from a grooming perspective. They do shed. They don't have a hypoallergenic coat per se. And their hairs are very fine. He's got a very soft coat, but they do shed. And so because the hairs are very fine and like pointy, they can stick to a lot of things like furniture, the rugs, blankets and things like that. So, you do definitely have to vacuum up after them. But the good thing is they don't have much dander. So there's no, they don't have that that smell, like that dog smell that you can sometimes get with shedding dogs. So it's really good. All right. What did I miss? How are you? Morphle. Yes, you are correct. Calvin's name was originally Hunter. Cool that you remember that. You must have been in on the live stream. Who else is in here that I missed? Hello from Pennsylvania. Fantastic. Arlene, thank you so much for dropping all those links. I appreciate it. So one thing a lot of people will ask is about their tails. So a Boston Terrier's tail is naturally short. They're not docked. Now, there are some Boston Terriers that do have a full-size tail for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because they're not purebred or if it's just one of those odd phenomenon. But for the most part, purebreds Boston Terriers will have the short, stubby tail. Yes, quite coincidental for sure. What a coincidence. Wow, that is really funny. Yeah. What a coincidence is right. Thank you so much, Are you the rescue dog? I appreciate it. Yeah, he is a really good dog. All right, let's go back to some trivia. So it looks like ChatGPT pretty much took my fun facts and put them in a form of a question. Hey, Troy, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so the next question, I got to flip over my page. All right, so we kind of talked about this a little bit. Let's see how well you guys paid attention in class. So what is the most common coat color pattern for Boston Terriers? Who wants to take a stab at that? Ooh, I missed something from Troy. What did Troy say? Oh, Troy sent 100 coin. I'm not really sure. It's one of those jewels, right? Sweet. Tuxedo says Nuwaka. Yeah. Black and white says Karen. Welcome in, Karen. I didn't see you come in. Karen 77's in the house. Deborah says copper. Ann says black and white. Clark says, you missed the question. I'll repeat it. What is the most common coat color pattern for Boston Terriers? Yeah, so they do look like tuxedos, but what color though? What color? What would you say they? So we got black and white. So yes, that is the most common color pattern on a Boston, and it is black and white. So Calvin is not common. Shocker, right? Yes, black and white is definitely the most common color. And I would say brindle might be the next common color after that, although I don't really know that for sure. All right, next question. What is the common eye color for Boston Terriers? What is the common eye color for Boston Terriers? Yes, I agree. Very pretty color. Yes, brown. You guys got it. Yep, brown is the common color. Although I did mention outside, I have seen Boston Terriers with blue eyes and green eyes. As pretty as they are, they say that blue-eyed Boston Terriers, it's usually not a good thing for them from a health perspective. Like they have a better chance of developing eye issues with the lighter color eyes, but who knows? Yeah, Calvin is sweet. I'm shocked that he's laying down on the couch like that. All right. So, true or false? Boston Terriers are known for being aggressive guard dogs. Thanks, Deborah. I try. I try to be a good dog dad. He's my family. And so I treat him like family. Adventure America says false. I see a lot of false. Allison says he's sleepy. Yep. Vaga says true. Maverick says true. Yeet says true. Hey, Gaming, how are you? Welcome in. He says true. You're training your aggressive Boston to get along with your cats in 3 weeks. Oh, cool. So according to this answer, they would say it's false. Now, I do think they make decent guard dogs. They're not aggressive, but they will alert you if somebody's there. So at the very least, if somebody comes to the house, Calvin will definitely bark or, usually he'll bark or he'll go to the window if he hears a noise. And so, he does his job from that end to at least let me know, hey, something's going on out there. And so, but then once the person comes in, he might bark at them for a bit, but then he'll be like, ooh, there's a new person. Come pet me or come give me attention. He's really more about, I think he's really good around people for the most part. He's kind of trusting, actually. Motley alerts on everything. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good that they alert. I don't really want them to obviously attack somebody because most of the people who are coming to my house is somebody I know. It's very rare that some random person will ring my doorbell. I mean, it does happen, right? You get solicitations, but outside of that, it's everybody we know. All right, next question. What is the average lifespan of a Boston Terrier? I've seen a couple different answers on this one, so I'll see what you guys say, and I'll be a little lenient with this one. But what's the average lifespan of a Boston Terrier? Allison says 10 to 15 years. Moof says 14. Maverick says 12 to 15. Kim says 12 to 18. 15 to 18. 12. Yeah, 25. I wish. That would be amazing. 12 to 15. 11 to 14, 10 to 15, 14. Yeah. So, anyways, I've seen most of the sources I've seen says 11 to 13 years. ChatGPT said 11 to 15 years. I like that range a little bit better. I would love for it to say 13 to 15 years, if not 15 to 17. That would be amazing. Hey, Daisy May, welcome in. Thank you for being here. All right, let's see who can get this one. What famous university has a Boston Terrier as its mascot? I will accept 2 answers to this question. They only gave 1, but I know of 2 universities that have Boston Terriers as their mascots. And so if you give me either or, I'll take it. Daisy and Clark say BU. Any other guesses? What famous university has a Boston Terrier as its mascot? Maverick says BU. Vaga says Boston. Kim says BU. Yep. So BU is the answer that's on this paper. But is anybody here on this stream familiar? Uh-oh, gimbal error. We got a gimbal error. See if I can spin it around. I just gave you guys a 360. There you go. All right. So, gimbal error. I resolved it, though. Kisses to Cal from Jake. So the other college that I know of, and maybe there's more, but these are the only 2 I know. So who's familiar with... Oh, thanks, Nawak. I appreciate that. Who's familiar with the university called Wofford, based out of South Carolina? Wofford, I think it's... Actually, it might be Wofford College. And guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my seltzer that I left outside. It's probably 100 degrees right now. Calvin, you coming in? Come on. I wanted to get my drink. You coming in? Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come in. Come in. Do you want a treat? Come on, let's get your treat. Come on, baby, let's go. Do you want your treat? No? He'll come back in eventually. Yeah, they made a run in the NCAA tournament a few years ago. And so anytime they make the tournament, I secretly root for them. Unless they're playing my college, which would never happen. But if they did, then all bets are off. But yeah, Calvin is his name, Deborah. I'm sorry. I maybe should have said that. Yes, this for anybody who doesn't know, this is Calvin, my Boston Terrier, and he's 5 years old. And this is a channel devoted to him. We started this channel during the heart of the pandemic, and we've had it ever since. Peter Pan says, did you say waffle? I will take one. I said Wofford, but I love waffles. All right, so what is the name of Boston University's Boston Terrier mascot? To take that question a step further. Anybody know the name of the Boston Terrier mascot from Boston University? I know this only because the school is like an hour from me, and I'm just familiar with the college and the mascot, and they play in the same hockey conference as my college, which was Providence. But so I knew that only for those reasons. Otherwise, I would have had no clue. And I have no idea what the Boston Terrier from Wofford is called, if he even has a name. Calvin, come on, baby. Come on, in the house. Go. Let's go get your treat. You want your treat? Go ahead. Come on. Let's go get your treat. All right, guys. I'm going to have to do some enticement to get him back in the house. Yes, his name is Rhett. Rhett, the Boston Terrier. I think that's a cool name. It's different. All right, guys. I got a little bribery going. Come on. That wasn't difficult. All right. Next question. What kind of tail does a Boston Terrier typically have? So there's a couple different answers. We know it's short, so that's out. But it's a short tail, and what would be the shape of that short tail? There's 2 answers. Clark Smith, probably not. I would love to. It's just, it would be really difficult for me to get him another sibling, just because I do get help with him. And so the thought of asking somebody to take care of 2 for me would just not go over well. Let's put it that way. So probably not, unless my circumstances change. Okay, so corkscrew is definitely one, and the other answer was straight. All right, we're going to go back to some of the traits again. So these next traits are all about their temperament and behavior. Yes, I'm talking to the invisible people again, Todd. You got it. All right, so this says they are affectionate and love human companionship, and that is an absolute fact. I think Boston Terriers are super clingy to their humans. They really thrive on human connection and forming bonds with their humans. And Calvin's no different. He's definitely very attached to me. In fact, on past Sunday, as you guys know, we did that live stream from the flea market. And then that afternoon, I had met a coworker and her husband and their two dogs at a local brewery. And I took Calvin with me. But we got a seat outside, which was great. But you actually had to order like everything inside. Like you had to go to a window. And so we all kind of took turns going in to like place our order so somebody could watch the dogs. And the minute I like went into the building, Calvin was just so like worried about where I was going. He would not take his eyes off me and going into the building. So he's just definitely attached like that, which is great. Hey, Kerry Jordan, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Clingy is definitely true. Gaiman Stelly, yeah, so does mine. Yep. Definitely. But he was in good hands. I mean, I was in there for like literally 2 minutes placing an order. So they are known for being highly intelligent and quick learners. And I'm just trying to see if this is, yeah, it's already here. I would say that that's true. He's a pretty quick learner. Like, for example, it was very easy to potty train him. It didn't take long at all. Once you get into a routine with them, they just really prefer routine. Like, so he's, really good with that. Thank you for being here, Arya. Have a good one. Appreciate it. But yeah, definitely. Boston Terriers are often silly and clownish, making them natural entertainers. That is a fact. As you guys know, I have a few videos of Calvin just doing zoomies. And so they just have like really funny facial features and expressions and mannerisms and these bursts of energies that like come out of nowhere to make you laugh. And he's definitely no exception. Like he's chill a lot, but then all of a sudden he'll just go from like 0 to 60 in like no time, which is pretty funny. They are gentle and good with kids. I think that's true. However, I also think it's how you maybe bring up your dog. And so, I would, like any other dog breed, I would, monitor that on a case-by-case basis. Calvin's really good with children, no issues. But, I know I'm not going to say every Boston would be that way. I think you just have to know your dog and understand their, their temperament. He puts up a lot. Like, obviously we tell the kids not to tease him or anything like that. But, every once in a while they kind of do something to like aggravate him. He's got a pretty high tolerance level with them. But like I said, you do have to watch and be sure, that you're monitoring, your dogs around kids for sure. Thanks, Clark Smith, for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely make you laugh all the time. So it says Boston Terriers rarely bark excessively, making them good apartment dogs. So that's an interesting one. To me, that's a subjective thing. So Calvin, he doesn't bark excessively, but he barks. And sometimes he'll bark and he won't stop barking, and he'll get on my very last nerve. And I have to like raise my voice at him to try to get him to stop occasionally. But I would say he's more like a sensible barker. He really only barks when, he either like wants something or he's not happy about something kind of thing. He just doesn't bark for the sake of barking. And so I would say he's an average barker. Todd, Calvin sleeps with me all day long. He wouldn't have it any other way. Like, yeah, he needs to like be with me like 24/7 for sure. Kim says yours didn't bark. Yeah. Again, I think it's like a hit or miss thing. Like he doesn't bark a ton, but when he barks, sometimes it takes a while to shut him up. So it says they can be stubborn during training, so patience is key. I agree. They definitely can be stubborn. I say that these dogs have sort of a what's in it for me mentality. So, you know, I would argue that they're easy to bribe. Like, so I could give Calvin the same command 2 different times, one holding a treat and the other one not. And obviously, I think he'd be more apt to follow my command knowing that there's a reward waiting for him versus just following my command for the sake of following my command, if you get my drift. Good night, Nawika. Thank you so much for being here. It was nice having you. Appreciate it. Hey, Amy, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here. He looks a little tired, I guess. I just think it's Calvin. I think he's sort of tired of me talking to the camera is really what he's tired of. Boston Terriers are known to snore because of their flat noses. So that's true. I would say Calvin does snore, but I would say he's not the biggest snorer. I had another Boston Bruin that I had before Calvin, and I felt like he snored more than Calvin, although I can hear Calvin snoring a little bit now. All right, he's proving me wrong. Oh, there he is. You're at work? It's okay, Amy. I promise. I won't tell anyone that you're at work. I'm kidding. Yeah, so Calvin will snore, but I would say he's not the biggest snorer. I've heard other Bostons snore much louder than him. Can you get a snuggle? There you go. This says, despite being terriers, they're not particularly yappy. I agree. He's not a yappy dog. That's not, I would not call him that at all. All right, let's go back to some trivia. All right, I already talked about this. So let's see if you remember what I said. Are Boston Terriers typically hypoallergenic? Are Boston Terriers typically hypoallergenic? Maverick says no. Kim says no. Amy says no. Allison's yes because of the short hair. Turtle says no. Eat says no. Yeah, gaming for sure. They're known. A lot of times people will have their dogs' nose airways like elongated so that they can create more. I forgot the name of that surgery, but there's a surgery where some owners will widen the nostrils of their Boston Terriers just to create more breathing space. Hey, James, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. The answer is no. Even though they do have a short coat, it's not real hair. It is technically fur and they shed. So for that reason, they are not hypoallergenic. Typically snackogenic and napogenic. Yes. And photogenic, too. All right, next question. If you had to describe the temperament of Boston Terriers in 3 words, what would they be? If you had to describe the temperament of Boston Terriers in 3 words, what would it be? There's a lot of answers for this that I would take, but let's see what you guys say. Hey, Luca Lynn Julian. Thank you for being here. Good night, Calvin and Dad. Blessed Thursday, all. Same to you. Hyper, sweet, and sleep. Sweet, goofy, gorgeous. Amy says energetic. Todd says aggressively cute, sassy, sweet, sometimes chill or hyperactive. Goofy too. Cuddly, faithful, funny. Cuddly, goofy, energetic. Sebastian, Bud, please don't spam the chat. I don't think anybody here knows you to just subscribe, but appreciate it. So this is what ChatGPT said: friendly, intelligent, and lively. And so I feel like there's a lot of synonyms to the words that you guys gave. So I would say all of you guys are pretty correct with your thought process there for sure. All right, so here's another question. What year was the Boston Terrier named the official state dog of Massachusetts? What year was the Boston Terrier named the official state dog of Massachusetts? We got a 1952, 1950, 1993, 1950, 1800, says Amy. $1893. That was the year that they were founded as a breed. But the year, according to ChatGPT, now anybody can look this up and, fact check this if they like. But according to ChatGPT, they became the official state dog of Massachusetts in 1979. Todd saw 1776. That's funny. So a few of you guys were close, but definitely off. 1979. Yep, that's what that says in ChatGPT. Oops. Yeah, I learned something. Me too. I didn't know that either. All right, so this one I love. I'm going to ask this. Which breed is commonly mistaken for the Boston Terrier due to similar coloring? Which breed is often mistaken to the Boston Terrier due to similar breed? ChatGPT is teaching you guys new things. Amy says Frenchie. Karen says Frenchie. Ann says the Frenchie. Frenchie. Yeah, you guys got it. I can't tell you how many times I'll take Calvin somewhere for a walk, just out, like if we're at Petco or whatever. This is Petco too. We're talking at a store where, people love pets, right? And bring their pets. Like I would say when somebody asks like some people obviously know his breed, but when they ask what breed is he, I would say 60 to 75% of the time they say, oh, is he a Frenchie? And I'd be like, no, Boston Terrier. Oh, okay. So he gets mistaken as a Frenchie a lot. And I love Frenchies, don't get me wrong. They are so cute and adorable. But, I do think that there's some differences. Usually their markings are a little different. I would say most Frenchies are a little more stockier. Their ears are a little more rounded and not as pointy. Even though they stick up, they generally have more rounded ears. But, I could also be really close to this, right? I have a Boston, so I know the difference. But, I would say there's, maybe a few instances where I've seen a Frenchie and I'm like, oh, that could pass as a Boston, and vice versa. But I would say, 95% of the time, I think it's not too difficult to distinguish the difference. Is he having a moment or is he just sleepy? I think he's just sleepy. He's sort of like, all right, you're doing your thing again. I'm not really interested. All right. So again, I love how these questions are popping up after I talk about this. True or false? Boston Terriers can be born with blue eyes. Adventure America sending me floating hearts. I appreciate it. Yep, that is true. They can be born with, for sure, can be born with blue eyes. All right, those are all the trivia questions. Let's look at some more of the traits that I haven't read. All right, so health and care. Their short nose can make them prone to breathing difficulties in hot or humid weather. I've talked about that. That is definitely true, for sure. They shouldn't be over-exercised in the heat. That is true, too. That is a little subjective, though. You know, if you're just walking casually with the dog, yes. I mean, if it's insanely hot, then no. But, like, you know, the day that we went to the flea market, it was warm, but there was a breeze, and it was not extremely, you know, super hot. And I gave Calvin plenty of water. Yes, he was panting a little bit, but he was, you know, fine. But you do need to watch out for that, obviously, just given their short snouts. You know, it can be hard for them to breathe. The breed is known for having eye problems like cataracts or corneal ulcers. A lot of that's due to their prominent eyes. So, you know, because their eyes are so big and when they're low to the ground, like sometimes they, you know, they can get debris in their eyes. Or my first Boston Terrier actually ended up getting a scratched cornea, a corneal ulcer, and I had to actually have eye surgery for him. And let me tell you, it was not cheap. And so it's a real thing. Just because the eyes protrude, they can definitely, you know, have some eye problems. It says Bostons are generally a healthy breed with lifespans of 11 to 15 years. They are sensitive to anesthesia due to their build. Okay, I didn't know that. So I did get Calvin fixed, and I'm assuming they put the dogs under for that, I would hope. And he seemed to be fine. Like, he bounced back literally within 24 hours of his neuter surgery, and I got that done at about like 6 months or maybe 8 months or something like that. And he was like bouncing around like the next day. It was crazy. They don't tolerate extreme cold well, so sweaters are a good idea in winter. We do have clothes for Calvin. He doesn't love wearing clothes. I mean, he tolerates it. He definitely does not like anything on his head. That generally will last for like a few seconds before he shakes it off his head. But missing some things in the chat here. Let's see. Yeah, that is awesome. Troy, you're like the bomb. I appreciate this. Todd says, a cross between a Boston Terrier and a French Bulldog is called a Frenchton. Yes, that's correct. A cross between a Boston Terrier and a Pug is called a Bug, B-U-G-G. A cross between a Boston and, I don't know, there's a few others that I can't think of. Hey, what's the rage? Welcome in. Thank you. He doesn't want... Well, he's going to have to deal with it. I am the one who feeds him, after all. He can put up with it. So it says they're known to be gassy dogs. And so I agree for the most part they are. But I am very lucky. I have a Boston Terrier that just is not bad in that department at all. Like, I lucked out with him. He just, for whatever reason, he doesn't fart a lot. That's for lack of a better term. And it says they tend to be clean and low odor, needing only occasional baths. That is definitely true. They don't have that, like, you know, that, like, when he goes out, we go for walks, like, you know how sometimes dogs will come in and they have that, like, really, like, thick outdoor dog smell. Like, he doesn't have that, really. I do give him baths probably once a month on average, maybe every 3 weeks. Mainly, or showers, I should say, mainly because he, like, looks at me to say, hey, can I take a shower? Like, he loves to be in the shower. It's the weirdest thing. Oh yeah, dig up the pictures, Ari World. That would be funny. That's awesome. Oh, awesome. Welcome back, Clark Smith Adventure. Appreciate that. Your husband did you a solid on that one. Ooh, Parmesan garlic wings. That sounds absolutely yummy. All right, quirk, activity and playfulness. Boston Terriers have moderate energy levels. Daily walks and playtime are plenty. I would say that's fair. Like they're very like I would say it averages to moderate, but like when they're in play mode or like energy mode, it is off the rails. It's funny as hell. But then then it's like this. Like Calvin's like this a lot, and then he's like, 100 miles an hour the other time. There's not much in between with him. All right. Many love to play fetch and tug of war. So Calvin, you want to play fetch? I'm going to bet you guys all the money in my pocket that he will not chase this ball. Go get it. Go get it. Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, he's got to be in the mood to play fetch. It's not frequent that he likes to. He does play tug of war with me every now and again. My last Boston Terrier could play fetch and tug of war all day. Like I used to throw the ball outside. Like I would bounce it and like have the ball bounce up like, 20 feet in the air. And my Boston would literally jump like, 5-6 feet in the air and catch the ball mid-air. Calvin doesn't do any of this. My last Boston was super athletic. He's a little bit more unique. He's not quite a sportsman. Exactly. You chase it, Human. My last Boston would have though. If I had Bruin on this channel, he would literally go. He would chase it nonstop. He wouldn't stop. All right. Next activity. Despite their small size, they can be very fast and agile. That is really true. Calvin is a speed demon. When he does run, like out in the yard, I could never catch him in a million years, for sure. Great at canine sports like agility and obedience. I don't know about you, but yes, I think Bostons in general are really good at the agility drills. And, I think those who are really trained, are very, very obedient. Calvin's mid on that. Like, I also don't push him. I only I kind of let him do his own thing as long as it's not destructive or causing harm. I'm not the kind of owner that needs to like bark commands at my dog every like 5 seconds to get him to listen to me. To me, that's not really fun. I wasn't a drill sergeant or like, I don't have that mentality. And so for me, it's like, I wouldn't treat my family member that way. So, but that's just me. Everybody's different. But yes, they are fast. Hey, Barry's in the house. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I saw that you went live, and I was like, oh, I'm going live at the same time. But we did give you a shout out and to tell folks to kind of stop over your channel. So hopefully some people came over to say hello. All right, and the last one is they are known to do zoomies around the house and around the yard and around anywhere. And that is 100% true. Calvin loves to do zoomies. In fact, our most watched video on the channel is Calvin doing zoomies in the house, set to Benny Hill music. It's the funniest thing ever. And it's got like 158,000 views. And it's literally only 15 seconds, but it's just so funny to watch him like zoom around the house. Very comedic relief, let's just put it that way. Yes, lots of zoomies for sure. All right, this next section talks about quirky habits and personality. So this is really true. They often tilt their heads when curious, adorable, and iconic. Calvin does that all the time. Right, buddy? Pete? You want a treat? What? You want to go for a walk? Who is it? What? Pete? Chicken? What? Do you want some chicken? Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Come on, let's get a treat. Come on, let's get a treat. Anyways, Calvin didn't do that on command, but he does tilt his head a lot. Pecco? We going to Pecco? Where's Pecco? Kim Stahl says, the one where you are chasing him in the living room and you keep falling on the couch is so funny. And video game type sound effects. Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I like that too. So we have a longer form content of that video as well that actually got like over 3,000 views. And so I tried to make a short version of it. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I agree. I had fun making that one. I needed somebody to film it for me. My buddy Pete filmed us making that video, which was fun. Yes, treat got him rocking and rolling for sure. All right, next fun fact. Bostons love to snuggle and burrow into blankets. That is an absolute fact. At least this one does. Calvin will love to snuggle with me. Like if I'm laying down, he'll put his chin and his head in the crook of my armpit and like kind of settle in and just like kind of rest there. And it's really cute. It's cute for like 5 minutes, and then eventually I'm like, all right, I gotta move you because like this is not the most comfortable for me all the time, but it is so cute when he does that. And Calvin loves to be covered under the blankets. Like he'll paw at me to tell me to cover him, which is the funniest thing ever. All right, many have human-like facial expressions, making them super meme-worthy. Yeah, that's true. Calvin will like stare at me like he's got the little snaggle tooth going right now, but sometimes he'll like have his teeth exposed, like kind of looking at me like funny, right? You all funny? Are you all funny? Are you all funny? Are you a funny guy? Have a paw? Have a high five? Calvin, where's my high five? See, he's gonna be stubborn now. Can I have a high five? Where's my high five, buddy? Where's my high five? No? See what I'm saying? There's nothing in it for him right now, but if I had a treat in my hand, he'd give me a high five all day long. Hey, Bella Garcia. Hello, Bella. Yes, we totally agree with you. It's a beautiful day today. Thank you for being here. They can be little shadows following their humans everywhere. I can attest to that. This guy follows me a lot, including into the bathroom. Sometimes I need my privacy, but he doesn't care. He'll just come in and sit next to me, and I'm like, all right, dude, like, you know, give me 5 minutes of space, please. So sometimes I'll have to, like, tell him to go in the other room, and he will, but it's pretty funny. What's he seeing out there? I don't know. Let's look. Let's see what Calvin sees. I don't see anything. I do hear some voices, but I don't see anything. Hey, Trick Shot friends. Calvin is 5. He's 5 years old. Yeah, don't let the human trick you. Exactly, right. Yeah, he never leaves me alone. I agree. They're known for wiggle butts when excited. That is true. So I love these because every time I read one of these, I'm like, oh, I have a video that kind of proves this. So we have a short video of Calvin. It's a video of my friend Peter, a.k.a. Newman, coming to visit. I think he was coming over to watch a game, and he was bringing a pizza. I think he had played tennis, and he was coming over after tennis. We were going to watch, I don't know, hockey game or a basketball game or something. And I'm literally filming him through this door at like ground level. So Peter knocks on the door, and he's standing outside with the pizza, and all you see is Calvin wiggling his butt like crazy. And I set it to Ice Cube's song, "You Can Do It." Put your back into it. I can do it. Put your butt into it. I won't say the word, but you have to check out that video. It's hysterical. He's literally like twerking like the whole time. It's so funny. Yes, Wigglebutts is a great channel. We love the Wigglebutts. Yeah, you have to check out the Wigglebutts video. It's funny. See if somebody can find it. It might be called something twerking. It's hysterical though. And I don't even care. Like it got decent views. It was not one of our most watched videos, but I didn't even care. And sometimes I don't. Like sometimes on the shorts, it's like, it's like, oh man, I thought this one was hysterical and it like didn't really take off. And then other ones where I'm like, okay, let me turn the camera on for 15 seconds and film him and just post it. And it's like, oh, how did that get 8,000 views? Ah, Venture America. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you. It's awesome. Troy, you're amazing. Appreciate all your support. All right, so this next one says, Boston Terriers don't like being left home alone for long periods of time. And that is true. Calvin is definitely, he definitely has a little separation anxiety. Like, I don't talk about this much, or maybe I've talked about it, but whenever I leave him, he will bark his bloody head off at me, like, very upset that I'm leaving him. Like, and so I have to like get a treat and like, get a treat and kind of throw it to like another part of the room as I'm walking out the door, just so I can kind of distract him. Then he's fine. Then he'll literally just jump on these couches and stare out the window. But then I made the mistake of talking to him through the Ring camera, this thingy right here, as you guys know. And I posted a short of that, and then you can hear him howling because he can't see me and he's, missing me, which I thought was super cute. Yes, you found the Wigglebutts channel. Awesome. Yeah, post the Wigglebutts channel. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Bella Garcia. My condolences to you. Yeah, massive separation anxiety. And it breaks my heart, but like I've gotten used to it, but at first I was like, oh my God, this is like killing me. Like, I mean, I'm only going to be gone for a little while, but they don't know that, right? They assume that you're going to leave them forever. And that's sometimes tough to comprehend, but oops. Oh, Julian, thank you so much. Guys, give everybody who drops super chats, man, give them a nice thumbs up. They're so awesome. I appreciate that so much. All right, pop culture and recognition. This is kind of a fun. We already talked about a couple of these. I'm going to skip them. So Boston Terriers are featured in many TV shows, commercials, and art because of their charming looks. I have definitely seen Bostons a lot in like art pieces. I've seen them in a few commercials. Like I saw them once in a Target ad. I forgot what it was called. Like I think it was around the holidays. They've been in a few movies, but I would say, compared to some of your most popular breeds, they probably don't have as much Hollywood time as, some of your most popular breeds, but it's pretty cool. So famous Boston Terrier owners include Helen Keller. Did you guys know Helen Keller owned a Boston Terrier? I did. President Gerald Ford also owned a Boston Terrier. And not on this list is Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is an avid Boston Terrier owner and follower, which is really cool. Helen Keller, your fellow Alabamian. Awesome. I don't know if I knew she was from there, to be honest with you. Yeah, Dolly Parton, look it up. Dolly Parton loves, and I'm sure there's some others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I know those. I knew, I wasn't 100% certain about Gerald Ford, but I knew Helen Keller, and I definitely knew Dolly Parton were avid Boston Terrier lovers and owners. So Boston Terriers have a strong fan community with dedicated social media followings. I guess that's true. There's quite a few Boston Terrier channels out there. You know, particularly like on Instagram, like there's a lot of channels. Like we're on Instagram and we follow quite a few Bostons. But I would say that for a lot of dog breeds, particularly on a platform like Instagram, I just feel like, you know, I see dogs of all breeds on that platform. But there is a really cool channel. And they actually, his name is Donnie Gardner. That's the guy who runs the channel, but it's called the Boston Terrier Society. And they were posting a lot of videos on YouTube, you know, 2-3 years ago, year and a half ago, even 4 years ago. And their channel like blew up. Like he's got like 46,000 subscribers. And his channel's great because his channel is strictly about, it's like a learning channel. It's really about the breed, but you know, he'll do a lot of like comparison of like different breeds, like versus the Boston, what might be better for you based on like, you know, again, all the different traits of those dogs and sort of like your lifestyle. You know, he'll tell you like 10 reasons you should have a Boston, 10 reasons you shouldn't. And so now they're starting to post videos again on YouTube. I think they had took their content to a different platform. And so I'm just wondering if maybe they're coming back now to YouTube, but love their channel. It's really educational. And this guy, Donnie Gardner in the Boston Terrier Society, they also do like a newsletter, like a blog. And I don't know if many of you won't know this. Like a few of you might, because if some of you have been following us for a very long time, but Calvin was actually featured in one of their one of his blogs. I'd have to see if I could find it on their website, but it was really cool. Like it was kind of like an interview style and talked a lot about how I got Calvin, the story behind that, and a whole host of different things. And it was really cool to like participate in that. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe I can post the link on like my community page if I can find it. But does anybody remember that? For those of you who've been following me for a while, do you guys remember that Calvin got to do that? Oh, Bella, so there's some good news for you. That's awesome. Do I know a good responsible breeder or a rescue? So the breeder that I had, she no longer breeds Boston Terriers. She now breeds golden retrievers, and she actually did poodles too. And did she do golden doodles? So, guys, I'm going to sound stupid, but a golden doodle is a mix of a golden retriever and a poodle, correct? Am I right on that? I think she had done a couple litters of those and then decided now just to do like purebreds. Okay. I was so bummed when I mean, not that I plan on getting a dog anytime soon, but I just loved her as a breeder. She's really good. She does it the right way. And, you know, she breeds like beautiful Bostons too. Like, I know I sound biased, but look at this guy's face. It's hard not to say that. But anyway, so she stopped breeding Boston. So I don't really, because I'm not looking for a dog, I don't really know any other reputable breeders off the top of my head, unfortunately. But yeah, I would just, you know, obviously try to do your research and try to get references. And because unfortunately there are a lot of people out there, you know, who are scammers. And so you have to watch out for that for sure. What did Troy say? Ari's World would know, yeah. Treat time. I like seeing Cal's reaction when you say, Calvin, want a treat? Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Calvin, do you want a treat? Look at him. Look at the way he's sitting. Yeah, she did great with Calvin and all of her dogs. She's really good. What is a golden doodle mixed with the shark? Sharkadoodle? I like a sharkadoodle. How about that? Hey, Mikes, welcome in. Thank you for being here. So, anyways, what did you guys think of that? I thought that was a little fun. That's all the traits and the quiz questions, but I thought that was fun to just kind of talk a little bit about the breed. And so, again, I think depending on what people want, like if you want a lap dog that, like, you know, doesn't have a burst of energy like this dog, like, you know, this might not be the right breed for you. Or if you need a dog that's like going to be like, you know, want to go on hikes with them, like, and, you know, do constant like outdoor activities, this is definitely not the breed for you. You know, but if you want a companion that's good around people, kids, you know, form social bonds with their humans, you know, cute, the whole 9 yards, you know, moderate energy level, pretty smart, loyal. This is a good breed. For sure. Hey, JKJ Vlogs, welcome in. I like a Sharkadoodle. We're gonna call Ari Bear Sharkadoodle next time you bring him in the water. Just like I'm gonna have names for everyone's pets. A Surfer's dog, I call him AI because I'm convinced it's not real. I'm dead serious. Calvin, what you looking for, bud? There's nothing out there. We'll even do this, guys. We will raise the curtain, as they say. What's going on out there? I don't see anything. Do you? Yeah, I don't know what has his attention. There's no, I mean, somebody turned their lights on. There's cars driving by, but outside of that, what would I call Jackie Boy? Let's see. Well, based on that last short that you posted with the toy and him growling, I'm gonna call him the Toyminator, the Toy Minator, like a play on words for Terminator. He's the Toyminator. How's that for quick on my feet? Oh yeah, Sergeant Stubby, yeah. Definitely check that out. You didn't know Ace Surfer had a dog? Actually, I don't even really know if it's his dog. I'm a little confused. So whose dog is that then? The little white pom. Is that like a family member's dog? But anyways, he's always complaining that the dog won't speak, but I just call that dog AI. You like it? Yeah, so Jackie Boy is now called the Toyminator. We got the Sharkadoodle Ari Bear. I haven't met Motley, really. I got to watch some of Motley's videos, Troy. I think I'm subscribed, but I don't know if I have notifications turned on. So I'll have to check out some of Motley's video and see if I can come up with a nickname for him. Oh, I had the Boston accent? Okay, yeah, it comes out every now and again. I think the white dog is White Thing. Is that what he's called? I like the Toyminator, though. Give Calvin a kiss. I'll give Calvin a kiss. And I'll turn the camera around for that. Calvin, they want to see me give you a kiss. Give me a kiss. There you guys go. Yeah, I guess I taste good. It's licking the sweat off of me. Bear gets the most kisses in our house by far. Well, of course he does. He deserves it. Again, Calvin, no idea what you're looking. Oh, speaking of Boston Terrier Society, signs your Boston Terriers actually happy, not just excited. So they just posted a new video. I like his channel because, again, it's all educational. And he narrates over like a lot of B-roll, which is cool. Thanks, Clark Smith Adventure. I appreciate that. I try. Well, I mean, I love the guy. I love this little baby. You know, he's such a good dog. He's my ride or die, my companion. I made a lot of cool memories with this dog. And honestly, I have this YouTube channel to thank for that. Regardless of what happens with it, I would, like, for example, like I know you guys, a lot of us know, we went to New York City. If it were not for this channel, I would have never in 1,000 years have gone to New York City with him and filmed videos. It would have never happened. And so, you know, a lot of kind of the things we do, yeah, it's to make content, but really it's like, it's just really to make cool memories with your dog, you know? Yes, please hit the like and subscribe button, guys. That would be awesome. We're at 90 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? That would be fantastic. You're right, Clark Smith. Yes, they are always there. Very loyal, love you unconditionally. I mean, don't get me wrong. They push your buttons, right? I mean, just like kids can push parents' buttons. Doesn't mean you don't love them. You get upset with them here and there, you know, but you move on, right? That's just part of human nature. I'm sure, you know, Calvin doesn't say it, but I'm pretty sure in Calvin's mind, he probably gets irritated with me too. He's probably like, why is Human doing that? Hey, Chris, welcome. Welcome in. Hey, Jersey, how you doing? Stay Pawsome Maverick. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate you. Ari's World has got the third crown. Who's got number 2 and number 1? Is it still the same folks? She's resting after a tough day. Motley, the miniature schnauzer, is number 90. Ooh, up to 92 now. Sent 100. Awesome. We'll get there. We'll get to 100. The crowns keep changing. You got to keep your engagement level up. So I think I figured this out. So there's a little button, and I don't know if all of you have it or if it's just me as the host of the live stream, but I can click on the order of the crowns. So number 1 is Audra, 2 is Luke Lynn, 3 is Ari's World, 4 is Adventure America, 5 is Kim Stahl, 6 is Anthony Chihuahua, 7 is Ann MZ, 8 is Arlene, 9 is Turtles Walking, 10 is Clark Smith Adventure, 11 Allison Moore, 12 Hiking with Jackie Boy. Now, let me back up. Audra's got 350 XP, Luke Lynn 325, Ari's World 250, Adventure America 190, Kim Stahl 175, Anthony Chihuahua with 151, and then a lot of you have 150. So Ann, Arlene, Turtles Walking, Clark Smith, Allison, Hiking with Jackie Boy, all have 150. Maverick at 100, Todd Saw at 100. Don't ask me what all that means. I don't know. I'm not sure how they work either. Oh, Angela, thank you so much. We got to give you a mod. I don't. How did that not happen? Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I don't know I can't read your language, unfortunately. It looks Korean, but thank you so much for being here. My dog's name is Calvin. This is Calvin the Boston Terrier. He's 5 years old. Okay, you guys can see the ranking too. Not sure how Ari became 3. I don't know either. I don't know how that works. So, Vaga, how's the weather been in the UK? Has it been, you guys still having a heat wave out there too? It was crazy hot here today. Again, by Rhode Island standards. I know the Texans are probably eye-rolling me right now, but that's okay. But it was definitely over 90 today, and the humidity might have been the worst I've ever experienced this summer so far. I literally left my house at 7:30 this morning, and I instantaneously started sweating the second I walked outside. It was gross. Update on watch hours. Yes. Just below. I have a little over 100 to go. I think I have like 140 to go or something like that. But I don't think my Sunday live stream hours have hit yet. And I think I got like 100 just from that. It's close. I'll let you guys know. I thought maybe I would hit it by the end of this week, but I think it's probably going to be early next week, if I had to guess. Hey, Barbara, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hey, Love Pugs, welcome in. Calvin, CALVIN. Crazy hot in West Virginia? Yeah, I know. A lot of places are hot. Honestly, though, I'm not going to complain about it because I like the heat. And I have air conditioning, so I can't really complain. I'm in my house, and it's nice and cool in here. Vaga says, we finished with the heat wave this past week. It's just humid. Yeah, plus you live on the coast, right, near the water. I'm assuming, is it a fair statement that it's probably a little more humid near the water, Vaga, than it would be, say, in like central England off the coast? Your dog's name is Soon Sim. Awesome. What kind of dog do you have? What kind of dog is Soon Sim? Lucolin, Julien, I just made you a moderator. You live in Bigfoot country. Cool. Oh my God. I would never in 1,000 years. Like, obviously, this is the only house I've ever owned. I bought this house when I was 26. I've lived here ever since. It's paid off. And I got lucky that this had central air. Like, I would say for my first house, it wasn't like a must have because I would have just put window units in, if I needed to. But now that I have central air, if I were to even if no matter what, like if at some point I want to get a house in Florida as like a second home, not for a while, but obviously I don't even think they make houses down there without air conditioning. So not a good example, but let's just say I were to move like houses in Rhode Island into a different area, that I would never move into a house that did not have central air. That would be a deal breaker for me now that I've had it. Oh, Clarksmith. Yeah, Providence has got some nice areas. Yeah, we actually, I just filmed a video on Sunday, this past Sunday, of the Providence flea market. Calvin and I visited the flea market and then walked the river where they do water fire. And a lot of folks on this stream got to see a little bit of downtown Providence. And yeah, it was a beautiful day. It was really nice. I showed kind of the better parts of the city. Of course, there's some not so nice parts as well, but yeah, Providence has got some really charming areas, I feel like. Oh, Venture America is sending me more gifts. You're the bomb. So I know you told me, I don't know, Like, where do I see those? Like on my YouTube studio, if I go in and see all the jewels, is that how that works? I forgot how that works. That was a fun live. I really enjoyed showing you guys my city. It was a really cool crowd. It was fun talking to the vendors. You know, it was neat. That bakery was so good. I might go back there just for another one of those bagels and cinnamon buns or whatever that thing was called. It was so good. But then on August 9th, guys, you know, obviously weather permitting, you know, let's just assume the weather will be fine. But I am going to do a live stream from that water fire event, which is it'll be a nighttime live on Saturday, August 9th. I'm thinking I will start the live around 8 p.m. Eastern, or maybe even 8:30, somewhere around there. And then basically I'll stay live as long as, you know, I can, or until the event's over. The only worry I do have potentially is it could be some copyright music. So in that case, I may just, like, you know, periodically mute the sound a little bit here and there just to kind of break that up. But I think you guys would love to see that. If you want to even get a precursor of what it looks like, what I'm talking about, I know you saw the cauldrons, but it doesn't do it justice during the day. Go to a website called waterfire.org and just check that out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hey, Gallivanters, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hey, we're over 100 likes. And all my blabbing, I missed that. You guys are the bomb. Thank you so much. Yes, you did, Vaga. Waterfire. Really, really cool. I know you can't post website links, I don't think. Am I correct in that? Can you? Mic with background noise reduction. Yeah, I don't have one of those, Todd. I'll maybe have to splurge on that. Study. Okay, you can only see the rubies at the live in your studio. They currently pay it out like a super chat. I think they are working on rewards for the rubies. Okay. Oh, you have a medicine school exam tomorrow. Some advice? Wow. Well, that is not my expertise, but I do think study is definitely a good advice. Be confident in what your knowledge is. Don't overthink your answer. Go with your gut. Get a good night's sleep and rock your exam. That's my advice for you. I can't believe Calvin's very, like, mellow right now. I have made vids demonstrating it. One is at Kenny's store. Music was playing while I videoed. You can hear me, but not the music. Is that an Amazon find? Todd, you have my text, obviously. Maybe you can send me a text of the one you have, and I can take a look at it. I don't think it would be super loud, Todd. It would really be more like background music. I don't think it'll be too bad, actually. Double check your answers. That's another good advice. What other advice does everybody have for Medi, who's taking a medicine exam tomorrow? So I splurged on a little gift for myself, really cheap on Amazon. It was like $25, I think, or $20. But I got one of those little neck cooler things that charges up via USB port. I'll put it on for a second. So I tried it on. It works pretty good. Let me. So this is like blowing wind up to my face. It feels pretty good, to be honest with you. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Put the fan on Calvin, see what he does. Yeah, he's like, I'm all set. He didn't like that. I think maybe because of the noise on the couch, buddy. I think if I put it on, oops, hold on, gimbal error. Oh, we really have a gimbal error. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, he was not a fan, no pun intended. Hey, Yvette, welcome in. Good to see you. Turn it off and then put it on. Yeah, now that he knows what it is, I don't think it'll matter. I'll try it another time. Yeah, I mean, look, Vag, I would agree. I think like it's decent for what it is. You know, it's not like I would say I would describe it as it's better than nothing, and it was worth the $25 that I spent. If this thing costs 50, there's no way I'm buying it. It's not that good. It gets my face. Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, it's blowing up my cheeks, Todd. Yep. I can even though it doesn't say to do it, I sometimes will also turn it over so that it's blowing, like, and I'll put it like under my shirt collar, so I can feel like the wind like sort of on like on my like neck downward on my neck, shoulders, and like towards my back. Yeah, $16 is not bad. Yeah, I think like I said, I think this might have actually been $19.99. I was like, for $20, I've spent $20 way more foolish than that. Let's put it that way. The air hits your ears. I mean, it's definitely getting my ears, but I also feel it on like my neck. I feel it on my cheeks. It's going up like my face. Gary Shepard, welcome in from Scotland. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would say mine is more the, I mean, I could turn this around. Like if I do this, for example. So now so now it's getting like the back of my neck up my, like the back of my head. It feels pretty good that way too. If I turn it this way, now I feel it more on the side. Like I said, sometimes I'll turn it over. If I go like this, I can actually feel it going all the way down my face. This actually feels pretty good doing it this way. Calvin, you're a weirdo. All right, anyways, I'll turn it off. I don't need this right now. Comes with 3 different fan speeds. Oh, Gary, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. It must be pretty late in Scotland. Same thing in the UK, right, Vaga? About 1:30 in the 1:48 in the morning, maybe? 2:48? Yeah, again, like I said, for $20, I'm like, that's fine. It's worth it. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. 2 o'clock. Could be late or early, depending on how you look at it. That's true. That time is subjective. I agree. Gary says 150. Nice. I appreciate you staying up, Vagabond. I know you prefer watching at this hour, so kudos to you. You know, I'm probably fast asleep at that time, but Calvin is thinking, no, you are the weirdo, and I'm becoming very concerned. If you want to cool off, just stick out your tongue, silly. Oh, Todd. So, Todd's seen this already, but I'll show you guys what's going on here. So Todd and I and his friend, the Sock Monkey, decided that it'll be a good idea to do some, Hold on, I'm going to put you guys down because this is going to be a disaster otherwise. One moment. All right, so anybody want to guess? Besides Todd Saw, he can't guess, but anybody want to guess what's in this box? I do not live in Boston, but I live close to Boston. 5:45 in California. It's 8:50 p.m. where I'm at. Visit the outdoors. Yeah, I'll take him out shortly. Yes, there's some beer in here. And let me tell you, man, I packed this thing up so good. I mean, when I say I packed it, I packed it really well. Like, you can't even, like, shake it around. It's, like, tightly packed. It's got, it's got brown, like, wrapping paper around it, like this stuff. Each beer was individually wrapped with, like, this kind of stuff. Then I put bubble wrap around it with tape. Then I put them in bags. Then I basically taped that together. Then put it in another, like, one and then, like, a big box inside this box, and then others in, like heavy duty bags. So that thing is not going anywhere. Cold snacks. You got it, Todd. It probably would be a red flag though. Like when I do go mail this, keeping it cold right now in the fridge, just because that's how I bought them. Now, sadly, it is going to take a few days to get to you, so the beers will probably be warm. But I think it'll be okay. You can just refrigerate it again. I don't think they'll go bad. Do you agree, Todd? I can't put ice on it, unfortunately. There's just no way. I am going to be shipping that. Yes, Kim. But we have to do it on the DL because technically you're not supposed to be able to ship beer unless you are licensed to do so. Clearly, I am not. So I'm not going to deliver this box that's basically been in the refrigerator. I'm pretty sure they're going to ask questions. So pack it in dry ice. Yeah, the problem is, though, I would have to get a bigger box. I am not in Massachusetts, but I'm close to Massachusetts. I don't know. The good thing about this craft beer is I think it'll be fine. It's not open. It's tightly packed. Let's hand deliver it. Let me tell you, if they lived in New York, I would do it. It would be way easier to do that. But driving to Texas is not exactly easy, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we'll be fine, Todd. Honestly, I follow folks who do beer reviews on YouTube, and people are mailing, beer to them all the time, and they're not putting it on dry ice. They're literally just shipping it as is, and so I think it'll be fine. Yes, I am in Rhode Island. You are correct. A lot of people know that, though, that are following this channel. All right, this is going back in the fridge. Yeah, so all of these beers are cans, by the way. They're not glass, so I'm not worried about it breaking. The reason why I wrapped them so tightly is more just to make sure, during transit, with the carbonation that the beer, if for some reason one opened somehow, it wouldn't ruin the entire package. It would just be confined to that one package that I wrapped up. Oh, yeah, definitely, Troy. I've been to Texas one time in my life. It was a long time ago. I was actually working at my last company. I want to say it was probably sometime in I don't know, early 2000s maybe. And I went there for a training. It was in the like the Dallas Fort Worth area, but the town that I was in was called I think it was called oh God, I forget. Is Cleburne a town? I think that's what it was. It was a dry town. Yes, Jocelyn. Calvin is a brindle. Oh, cool. Gabby's a brindle. Yes. Hey, Marcus. How are you? Marcus Aurelius. Welcome in. Yeah, that would be awesome. If I would love to meet up with a lot of you guys. It would be so fun to have a huge YouTube meetup. We already said we were going to do that at Chris's pool in Iowa. I think that's the central point of the United States, too. It only makes sense. Middle of America, that's where we all meet. Hey, Bodie the Chower Bear. I had been to Rhode Island once, but I had to go out of my way to go there just to say I've been to Rhode Island. Well, let's put it this way. I always joke, if you're on Route 95 and fall asleep, you might drive through Rhode Island and miss it. That's how small it is. How many kilograms is Calvin? Hey, Alexa, how many kilograms is 24 pounds?
24 pounds is about 10.89 kilograms.
About 11 kilograms. Allison says everybody would need to go to her. That's funny. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Vaga. Yeah, I appreciate any time you spend with us. I totally get it. It's late where you're at, so if you have to jump off and go to bed, totally get it. Yeah, and like you said, we've been on for 2 hours, so we're probably going to get off shortly just because it is 9. And Chris says 2.2 pounds per kilo. Perfect. Oh, that's funny, Todd. That's right. I forgot. Oh, I'm pretty sure. How big is King's Ranch? Is that like an actual ranch or is that a city? Yeah, Rhode Island's tiny. Rhode Island is 48 miles north to south and 36 or 37 miles wide. We're just over 1,200 square miles. Tiny. But we have over 400 miles of coastline, though. Fun fact. It's a ranch. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You want to see the end, too? Okay. Yeah, Yvette, I've been on for 2 hours, yes. Started at 7 p.m. We were doing a whole bunch of Boston Terrier-related fun facts and trivia, and now we're just wrapping up with conversation and, answering questions from the chat, basically. Yeah, it's cool because it's all jagged. So, like, it's, if you were to, like, measure it out just because we have, like, a very jagged coastline and lots of, like, inlands and all that, inlets, I should say. King Ranch in South Texas is 1,289 square miles. That's crazy. Yeah, so bigger than Rhode Island. Luke Julian, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I think Calvin's tired. I think he's just, he likes to chill out. It's getting late here. Oh, yeah, no problem. Audra says, can I boop your nose? Boop. Boop. My belly rub? He's being such a good boy. Wow, 118 thumbs up, guys, and we still have 60 in the chat. That's amazing. Oh, you're welcome, Audra. Anytime. Good night, Jocelyn. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so Calvin, what do you think? We've been on for 2 hours. You gave him a boops too? Awesome. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're going to call it. We've been on for 2 hours. It's amazing how fast 2 hours flies when you're having fun. Literally, it just hasn't even felt like that long. But that's because of all of you guys on the chat. I really enjoy this a lot. This has been so much fun. And again, thank you everybody for the super chats, for all the thumbs up, sharing our videos, all the comments that you guys leave us. It really means a lot to us. So with that, we're going to sign off for the evening. And I'm sure we'll go live again at some point this weekend. So keep your notification bells on, and we will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.